Hey, it's your boy DJ Wolf here on mostly cloudy but slightly wet Tuesday in the DMV, overlooking certain places around here. Anyway, got a couple things on my mind here. I want to continue to talk about ratchet ass women that make the world fucked up. You know. I know about a personal experience with somebody who I know personally who's dealing with a major issue like that right now. You know, you got talking to met this girl that you were talking to, and they became real chummy and stuff, and all of a sudden they kind of got close, and you know, he's been with her for a while, and he just recently found out that she was married. Misled him and everybody he knew around her. And she had a kid. Here's the thing. When are y'all baby mamas gonna learn to act like grown women and still like children? You know? It makes no damn sense. You go ahead and let some old dusty nigga fuck your ass, and then he'll dump you like a bad habit. Won't help you with the kids or nothing. He go on about his business. And then you all of a sudden, oh, I need to find the right. It reminds me of Sierra. Alright? Sierra got with Future. All of a sudden she got pregnant by Future. Then all of a sudden, after a while, Future, well, she knew had 4 or 5 kids, you know, before she met her. When she met her, she knew that situation. Got pregnant by the dusty dude. I mean, no offense to rapping skills, but you know what? Hey, all I know is that he ain't, you know, whatever went down between them didn't bode well in the relationship. I will say that. So I don't really know that much about it. But she did know that he had 4 or 5 kids during the relationship, and then she turned around and get pregnant by him herself. All of a sudden he's no good. Then she gets with Russell Wilson. Oh, he's the perfect man. Oh, why? Because he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback? You know, because he has been to 2 Super Bowls. You know, he got a somewhat stable career for right now. You know, it's just you know, and all of a sudden, oh, he's so good. Fantasia, same thing. Fantasia, you know, had baby out of wedlock, okay, and then she got pregnant with another baby by a married guy that she had an affair with, who she knew was married. Now all of a sudden, she got her a guy who's you know, well-to-do. All of a sudden, oh, he's the man, he's the one, he's the one. Yeah, always the good guy, you know. What we right now? Always the good guys. And what really tripped me out is like, okay, wouldn't you think that you would actually be out there trying to seek that guy before you, after you, put like this, wouldn't you think that's the kind of guy you'd be looking for in the first place? Instead of just settling for less and then decide to upgrade? Well, it's with black women. You know? It's like they sell for the players first. Then they get with the guy who's gonna really be about the business about them. It's always after the fact, and those are the guys that always get hurt. Those are guys that they always get burnt by those kind of women. They really do. For the most part, they really do. They're the ones that always get dogged out. You know, after a while, you do so much for them, they're like, you ain't doing enough for me, and all this other bullshit. It's the same. But now it's the same. How can I put it? Jesus, traffic is bad as hell. It's the same mindset that, black women have. Talk about, I can't never find no good man. Basically, because you were never looking for him. Till after you got in trouble. And that's the case of this guy I know. She was in a bad relationship with a dude. Supposedly was married to the guy. But she misled this guy I know. She misled him. Completely misled him. And misled his family. And that's what was really messed up. Because he was thinking, you know what? Maybe, we got something going here. But I had warned him about that. I said, dude, don't look a gift horse in the mouth and thinking that thing is going to be 100%. Because it wasn't. I had a bad feeling about that. I truly did. And I told him that, but he just wouldn't listen, so. I think he's starting to see a light. And now he says, you know what? He's going to go ahead and start mingling more. And I advised him of that a while back. And now he's finally said, oh, yeah, I'm going to do that now. I said, well, you should have been doing that a long time ago. For real. You should listen to me. And I meant to tell him, it was another, talked about it, I don't know if it was on this. Well, like I had a personal experience with a girl when I was in school back in the early 80s. And beautiful girl. I know she was black mixed with Asian and Indian. I know she looked like she had some Asian Indian in her for real. But anyway, fine as wine. All the way around. So fine. Just fine. Very attractive young girl. My dad was like, and that's how attractive she was. Because my dad was like, you dating her? Yes, I was. Anyway, so to make a long story short, she had the nerve to take me over her dad's house one time. I suppose it was her dad. I never was really sure if that was her dad or not, her biological dad. And supposedly her quote-unquote cousin was over there. Went to go visit her cousin who happened to be over there or lived over there. Anyway, so I found out later on that may or may not have been the case. We went to, for those of you who know, back in Ohio, know about Cedar Point, we had our senior, a lot of high schools back then had the senior class trips to Cedar Point. Well, I think some schools went on the bus, others just drove out there. Me and two of my buddies drove out there. We all hung out there together. And we met up with some other guys from other schools some of his buddies from we all went to school with. Guys I knew from other schools and friends that we all knew for years, grew up in the school I went to. The school I went to was across town on the west side. And I knew a bunch of guys from the west side and on the east side and other schools around the area. So, and initially we were supposed to be double dating. Me and my buddy were supposed to be dating her and her sister. And I was supposed to be drive my own car out there. My folks, of course, would not let me drive, so me and my friend rode together. And so we rode out there, and she was out there. She said, I'll meet you out there. Okay. So, met her out there. Guess who she was with? The cousin. Okay. Now, the cousin she was with, it was reported that they were hugged up together going everywhere. Right? So, I guess this is a dig to me because I couldn't take her. But that's all right. No big thing. So, it probably was a good thing because, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so several of my boys who I went to school with, both on the east side and west side, most of them who didn't even know who she was. Well, I take that back. Some of them did and some of them didn't. And I took, but anyway, I showed a picture of her. I said, and then several of them reported that they saw her and him hugged up. And then finally, I saw him hugged up. Now, I don't know if it was you doing it on purpose or what. It did kind of take me off, though. You know, suppose she was my girl. The thing was, I don't know if they were real cousins or not. You never know. You know, and the thing of it was, when I saw it for myself, I was crushed. I was crushed. I mean, I was totally crushed. You know, because I spent a lot of time with that girl. I gave her my time. I gave her a little bit of my money. You know, I gave her my heart. You know, and I was 18 at the time. I hadn't too long been 18. Well, yeah, I was 18. We were both 18, actually. And it was kind of messed up, you know. And it was my first real serious love, my first real serious relationship. And I was crushed like a grape, man. I'm telling you, crushed. But it just goes to show you how ratchet black women can be, you know, especially when you're single. They really gonna get ratchet, you know. And even in some cases when they're married. But you know, if she was right, she would just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna break it off with you. You know, I'm seeing somebody else." That would have been fine. She never told me that. She never gave me any inkling that she was gonna, you know, break it off with me. Not until I saw that, which I thought was kind of messed up at the time, and it really was. For lack of a better word, messed up at the time, you know. Because I would at least thought, you know, you would have gave me a benefit of the doubt and give me some respect and say, hey, now seeing this other guy, I don't want to deal with you right now. Fine. But no, she wanted to have her cake and eat it too. It's typical sisters, you know. That's typical. It's typical young sisters at that. You know, they got to have the cake, they got to eat it too, no matter what. They got to have it both ways, you know. She knew what kind of guy I was. She knew that, you know, I had both parents, and we didn't do too bad, you know. And I was able, you know, to do things with her that her so-called cousin probably wasn't doing with her, you know. And it broke my heart. And I remember that evening, I said, it just fucked my head all up, man. To a point, I got back in the car with my buddies, man, and we were talking about it on the way home. I cried all the way home thinking about this shit. That bothered me for days, man. And eventually, my dad said, you know what? Hey, you know what? We all go through that, man. And it made me feel so much better to know that I wasn't the only one that went through that bullshit with a woman. You know? And he said, I'll tell you what. Your cousin got a wedding. One of my cousins was getting ready to get married. And I think he was 27 or something, 28. Anyway, so he was getting ready to get married. It was actually my cousin's older brother. And he sort of was my cousin, but half cousin. Anyway, so to make a long story short, he got married. And it was the first wedding I ever went to. So we all went there, and I know what my folks was trying to get me to go. They were trying to get me to get my mind off the girl, because the girl, actually a week later, after I saw her, to the point we broke up anyway, and I was still crushed. And that was later on. I take that back. That was later on. I went and told her that we were done. I confirmed that, but I was cool with it, you know. But I went to the wedding. I went to the wedding reception. My dad allowed me to drive myself over there because he figured, hey, you never know, we might get lucky. Which I did. You know, I actually met a girl. I met this other girl there. And we immediately started dating the following week. So I got over there real quick. We dated for 6 years. Until I met this other girl who eventually became my wife down here in the DMV. That's the other story. But anyway, but the point of it is, to y'all young guys, man, look, and I was telling this guy yesterday, I said, it's fish in the sea, man. Playing fish in the sea. As long as you young and keep your body tight, women gonna be all right for you. And it ain't no thing. And the old saying goes, 99 problems. It ain't one. And he's not gonna have no problem with that. I already know that. I know for a fact he's not gonna have no problem getting on the money. I just told you have to be leery and really watch and ask questions. Ask plenty of questions. And be mindful of how she acts towards you. And if she acts any kind of funny like that, like this one did, dump her. Don't even waste no more time with her. Just dump her. Best thing to do. And I've had other women do similar stuff that my ex-girlfriend did. And then my other ex-girlfriend did, the one that who I met at the wedding reception in '83. She played a lot of head games too. I had to let it go. I don't know what is with black women with these head games, man. They love challenging you, man. They love challenging your mind. They love fucking with your head. And this is why a lot of black guys go out there and fuck around and cheat and shit. Because you know what? Hey, if you're going to play them kind of games with me, I'm going to play these kind of games with you. Bottom line. Why not? You do it with me, I'm going to do it with you. That's all there is to it. No one wants to deal with this shit. No one. No one like to have their heart torn in pieces when you give them everything you got to them. I was just telling this guy, I said, don't be so giving of your heart. Don't tell them everything, because they don't tell you everything. And I find out with most women, particularly most black women, and I can say this for a fact, they aren't giving them their heart like they try to pretend like they are half the time. And that is a fact. They are to a point. Not to a fault, to a point. This I know. This I know from personal experience. They don't like to tell you everything about them. You want to tell them everything about you. And that's what I told them. Some things they don't need to know about you. You can be open about certain things with them, and certain things you don't have to be open with them about. Because at the end of the day, these girls today are users, man. They are. And there are dozens and dozens of them that are baby mamas. And baby mamas, they be out for opportunity. They don't be out to be about you, they be out to be about them. I found that to be a fact. At the end of the day, they ain't about no relationship with no guys. They ain't been with guys. Not to say that all of them are, all about being and losing a caboose. But, some of them just like, hey, oh well, it ain't no thing to them. I've seen that happen. Ain't no thing to many of them anymore. That's why I said, if you're a young man in your 20s or even in your 30s, and you don't want to deal with that crackhead shit no more with some of these black women, then don't deal with it. I wouldn't deal with it either. That's the gospel. I would not deal with it at all. Because they play too many head games. I could tell you dozens of stories. I got stories lined up. I'm going to tell you all about it. All about it. It was a situation I had with one situation was there's a girl I was trying to date in Akron. She had been driving all around town just so she could not have nothing to do with me after that anyway. And I eventually cut her off. There was another time where this one chick I took out and had dinner with her, brought her back to her house, and she wouldn't have nothing to do with me after that. Black women play them head games when they want to. When they want to get something out of you, they'll take it as far as they want to go with it, and then they'll dump you like a bad habit. And I'll tell you, I've been down that road. And in most cases, I can honestly say it probably was a good thing, because some of them went about shit anyway. There was this one girl, and I think I talked about it before. I'm not sure if it's still on any of my podcasts, but I'll bring it up again. She used to live right down the street from me. This girl wouldn't give me the time of day. wouldn't give me the time of day. But one day in 1984, I think it was 84. Well, yeah, it was 84. And I had my tweed jacket on. I had a white button-down collar shirt, Stacy Adams shoes, pressed pants, might have been jeans. I was dapper. I had my briefcase. My curl was like pow, you know. And I bought Jerry Curl. And she get on the bus, but before that, she was having a smoking little body. She was a really cute girl, and wouldn't give me time of day. But when I saw her in '84, she get on the bus, all wore out, with 3 kids. Get on the bus. Now you want to holler at me? Because she thought I was actually like some kind of businessman or something. I think that's what was going on. And then all of a sudden she thought, well, I guess he might be doing pretty good. Now all you want to talk about this is the how can I put it, the mindset of the single but baby bombers. They fuck around with the dusty dude. And then when they can't get nothing what they want, the dusty dude that got him knocked up, then they want to go for the good guy. They want to go for the goody-goody. You know? And fuck that. Because you weren't looking for the goody-goody guy. You think the goody-goody guy is too square for your ass. Until you get knocked up pregnant and dumped. That's my point. And to y'all goody-goody guys, you know what I'm talking about. The guys who out there doing the right thing, they ain't going around trying to knock 10, 20 women up pregnant and all that. Career-oriented, career-minded. Watch out for these baby mamas, man, because they will definitely burn you. And I'm telling you from personal experience, the experience of other people I've seen, they will definitely try to burn you. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about it. This is DJ Wolf. Wanted to school you guys, man, because believe me, the thirst is real. The thirst is real. And if they ever have a dry spell, guess who they looking to get? The goody-goody guy. Again, this is DJ Wolf. Questions or comments about anything I've said today, please feel free, by all means, to give me a shout. DJ Wolf live at Outlook.com for all to hear, and Outlook.com for all to hear, and Gmail.com for all to hear on YouTube in the comments box, and at for all to hear on Twitter. Well, guys, this is DJ Wolf. This is maybe part 1 of a series about baby mamas, the do's and don'ts.